we can right now list about the issues. The first issue is to identify the starting point for the UPSC examination. There should be someone who should be with us with respect to the guidance as and when we are facing certain kind of difficulties. Hota kya hai ki there will be n number of websites. Now which particular website to rely on, which particular website is giving me only content which is the quality content, which is providing me even the clarity with respect to those concepts. So what pre-foundation course is going to help you, that it will help you to transition from a student who has not an idea with respect to this preparation to the student who is having the idea regarding what are the basic resource, what should be the reference point when you are starting your preparation, in which you are also going to get the daily news discussion, and that discussion is also in a thematic manner. So hello everyone, I am Vishal Salsekar, and today we are going to discuss regarding an important aspect from the examination perspective, which is the beginning for this particular preparation, right? So now when we are sitting in September 2025, roughly majority of the students who are going to appear for 2026 examination have already started with their preparation. But then there are certain students who want to seek guidance regarding how they can initiate their preparation from the 2027 target year perspective and subsequently even for further years, right? Now, those who are going to appear for the 2027 prelims examination, at that point of time, right now you might be thinking that a large amount of time is available with you, more than 1.5 years. But then time moves very, very quickly. It runs very, very fastly. So in that cases, generally what kind of issues that as an aspirant you might be facing, and those who are watching this particular video and already have given substantial amount of time for this preparation, but still they are facing certain kind of difficulties with respect to the preparation of UPSC Civil Services examination. So this video is specifically for those who are going to appear for 2027, that what issues that they are right now struggling with, they will be able to better relate with these particular difficulties, and what kind of solution will be there regarding their issues that are being faced by them. Right. So first, let us start the discussion with the prominent questions that might be coming in your mind when you have thought of preparing for this particular civil services examination. So let's identify certain issues, or we can say certain themes on which you might be thinking upon that how you can initiate your preparation. So first is also about that we can right now list about the issues. The first issue is to identify the starting point. Identify the starting point. Because see, when you once start the preparation, you might have heard about the story of the aeroplane. Like suppose karo, if the aeroplane is moving in this particular direction, and if there is minor tweaking in the nose or the direction of that particular nose of the aeroplane, so you wanted to go in the country A, but unfortunately you might end up landing in country B, and there may be a lot of difficulties if that particular neighbor is like our neighbor, which is Pakistan, right? So in that particular case, you have to ensure that what should be your starting point and in what particular manner you should go about preparation of that particular thing, right? So in that case, identifying the starting point is very, very important. Now you all who are going to appear for 2027, you might be considering that yes, this is your starting point, that from now onwards you have to prepare for the UPSC examination. That this starting point brings me to certain issues. For example, which resource, then which subject, maybe like regarding practice, how I can ensure simultaneous practice. So there will be a lot of doubts that might be coming in your mind when you are thinking about that what should be your starting point. Let's say you might be thinking of starting with polity, but then you might be thinking ki nahi, polity ke pehle it should be an awareness of history that is needed. When you will start reading history, you will get certain economic aspects in history. Then you will think कि नहीं economy भी जरूरी है, geography is also important. So first thing is to identify which particular should be your starting point as far as the preparation is concerned. So this is the doubt on which many of you might be right now thinking about when you are targeting for 2027. The next difficulty that many of you might be facing is regarding having certain helping hand. So when we are now preparing for the UPSC examination, there should be someone who should be with us with respect to the guidance, as in when we are facing certain kind of difficulties, because there will be a lot of confusion. Because ऐसा नहीं है ना कि there is only single source, this is the university book from which only the questions are being asked. This is not the case for UPSC. There may be n number of books starting from the NCERTs. Then there are advanced books that are there. Sometimes even from any such sources, maybe n number of question might be asked, and sometimes very less number of question. And sometimes even UPSC picks the question even from the current affairs or any other resources which are not that much conventional, right? So there will be confusion around this. And suppose if UPSC ask any bouncer kind of question, then you might be wondering about that now how I should prepare for these particular things with respect to the examination. So there will be confusion. Also, you will need constantly feedback regarding your preparation support ki bhai how my preparation is going on, who is going to tell me. There should be certain kind of mentoring support that is needed in order to clarify these particular confusions, and also getting regular feedback regarding the progress, because once you get the feedback, you will see that how much you are progressing as far as this particular preparation is concerned. And also sometimes this particular preparation is also toll taking. There is no second doubt about it, right? So there is also sometimes motivation that is also needed. बोला जाता है ना कि you have to seek certain motivation also. If that is inherent within you, then only you are going to get that amount of energy which will be needed to sail through this examination. Otherwise, if you are just in some influence, you might be thinking कि one web series might have guided you, right? In that case, that motivation will be quickly evaporated, and then what you will be thinking ki bhai how this particular preparation will be even possible, how I should be covering all these particular things. Now next confusion that arises to the students is regarding having the current awareness. Now see, this is the reality of this particular time, that this is the age of infodemic. You might have heard of pandemic, but this is the age of infodemic. A lot of information is available over the internet. You will just search and a lot of pointers you will get. But those are scattered. अब देखो, when the current awareness is there, basically होता क्या है कि there will be n number of websites. Now which particular website to rely on? Which particular website is giving me only content which is the quality content, which is providing me even the clarity with respect to those concepts. So whether the current awareness is there now, there should be certain things that should be done by you on a daily basis. Then there will be obviously monthly compilation of the current affairs in a more thematic manner. Then there should be also regular revision that one should be ensuring, right? So current awareness is not like UPSC is asking certain random question. There is a syllabus attached to the UPSC, and that particular syllabus talks about the current event of national and international importance. Now there is other syllabus with respect to different general studies subject, including GS 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are talking about the pointers. So when you relate the current awareness with the syllabus pointers, then only you will be able to get clarity with respect to what kind of current affairs related things that UPSC is going to ask. And every year, whether you talk about the prelims, including the direct and the inspired one, roughly 23-24 question. That means roughly 25% of your prelims paper is constituted of the current affairs related things. Now, this is also not one day's task. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि you will read only one compilation and the task is done. It is a daily thing. The practice has to be done on a daily basis. The reference has to be done on a daily basis. The compilation has to be done, and then multiple revisions that has to be ensured along with the practice related things. So along with revision, there should be a regular practice that one should be ensuring in order to get mastery with respect to current affairs. It's not about mere mugging up of the fact or data. It's about having relation with what particular syllabus pointer it is related to, how previously UPSC had asked the question about that particular topic. So then only you will be able to prepare. Otherwise, this will become a endless preparation. Now, next important thing that one is generally confused with respect to the initial part of the preparation is also regarding the practice. Now, though practice I have incorporated specifically from current affairs perspective, but then largely also from GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, from all of those perspective also you have to prepare and practice adequately. Now, generally issue over here is the inertia. Generally hota kya hai, when we start preparation, we think that once we will get clarity about this content, once we will have all the possible dimensions about this, then only I'll start practicing. Because once I'll be marking that particular question wrongly, or I'll not be able to attend that particular question with the needed clarity, then it will give me certain mental pressure, right? So many of the students succumb to that particular pressure and then eventually do not practice. और होता क्या है, what generally happens in this case, we tend to wait till the very end for the practice, and this inertia keeps on piling up, and then we will start creating our own stories that yes, we are writing very perfect answer, our writing style is very good, our presentation is brilliant, and that we will be keeping ourselves in that particular pond only. We will not try to see that how others are attempting, how others are writing. So that particular thing is preventing us to get a reality check, because we are not doing the practice, and then adequate feedback also we are not taking from the person who is reading it or evaluating it from the perspective of a third party. Now, next, and another important thing is that generally you might have seen UPSC paper. There are both the type of question. There are questions which are very basic in nature. There are questions even which are very much advanced in nature, that needs the clarity of the concept, but the application in the very specific exam time period mein you have to apply that in the actual scenarios. So basically hota kya hai, that you think that there are a vast preparation that is needed. That means we can talk about that there is the foundation that you are going to prepare about. But what about the pre-preparation? Hota kya hai? Many of the students might be from the humanities background, but those who are not from humanities background might not have read humanity related subjects in class 11th and 12th. And in this particular case, what generally happens, that class 11th and 12th NCERT, which are very, very important, we tend to skip. But then once we start our preparation, it's humanity and non-humanity subject all are at the same par. There is no such differential cutoff, right? So you also have to prepare. Now, once the foundation you are starting to build upon, at that particular cases, if those conceptual things you might not have heard about, or you might not have read about those things, then eventually hota kya hai ki in understanding the larger concept or the complex concept, there might be difficulty. So sometimes there is a gap that is remaining with lot of students. I'll not say all, but lot of students who might not be clear with the conceptual thing in this particular case. And that's why when the vast preparation needs the strong foundation, that also sometimes needs certain kind of pre-foundation laying. That means sometimes we also have to lay pre-foundation before understanding the what are the foundation related things. So it can include certain basic concepts. It can include bridging the gap. It can talk about even practicing the basics. Now see, if I'll give you a complex topic and based upon that I'll ask you a question about it, obviously you might be seeing threatened ki bhai, when I have not read even the basics, how I'll be able to answer this complex question? The question is like over here is that UPSC does not assume that whether you have read this book or that book. They want to understand whether you are aware of this concept or not. Now, there may be a chance that this particular concept needs certain basics clarity which you might not have read, or you might have ignored because you might not have read the basic books. And in that cases, kya hota hai generally, that we tend to not get the correct answer in those cases because our pre-foundation is not that particular strong, or basic foundation, what we can say, in order to integrate all these things is not strong. Lastly, that when we are thinking that there is a large amount of time available, that means roughly 16, 17 or 18 months that are at our disposal, in that case we tend to get relaxed, or I'll say over relaxed. We tend to think कि भाई एक साल तो preparation करना है ना, 1 year I'll prepare. Till that point of time I'll read something scattered manner में, and then what we tend to do, we tend to skip the main thing which has to be done at this point of time. And what generally happens, that at this juncture there is a difficulty in order to integrate, in order to go for a lot of things which you could have done otherwise. You could have better utilized the time regarding this. Now, in all such cases, this causes the difficulty with respect to consistency. This also causes the issue with not able to utilize the early bird advantage. Generally, if you are starting early, that means you are an early bird. That means obviously you should be getting certain advantage. But then if the consistency is missing, then in that case, the early bird advantage that you should be enjoying, because आपका course जल्दी हो जाए, then you should be able to even practice more, you should be able to write more, right? But generally होता क्या है, we tend to skip this amount of time. We think that थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ते हैं, we will see from this resource, that resource. There is no such clear strategy, and then eventually a lot of issues that are being created. Now, when you are seeing all these things, now try to understand from the perspective of your own, that when you will keep yourself in this situation, if you are preparing for 27, these are the issues that your mind is thinking about. And this is not for any one student, this is across all the students, because whether they are from any specific stream or subject, they tend to think about this particular examination. Till the point of time we are not clear with these particular things, we tend to make a confusion wala state around this preparation. We just try to assume a lot of things. So this preparation is not about assumption, it's about providing the substantial amount of time in a targeted direction in order to ensure success with respect to this examination. That's why when you are right now at a very good point of time, and when you are having substantial amount of time available, so there can be the utilization of this time in order to build your pre-foundation in this particular regard. Now, what this particular pre-foundation I am talking about is basically pre-foundation is about the basics, the concepts, the practice, and revision. What all things we have discussed in all these cases, this pre-foundation, which is part of the pre-foundation course along with the foundation course, is going to help you in this all regards. Now, what are the simple features that are part of this? I'll tell you from these particular issue pointers that we had discussed. The first issue we have talked about is identifying the starting point of the preparation. So what pre-foundation course is going to help you, that it will help you to transition from a student who has not an idea with respect to this preparation to the student who is having the idea regarding what are the basic resource, what should be the reference point when you are starting your preparation, when you are starting with certain basic subjects. That means there are certain core subjects which includes history, which includes polity, which includes economy, which includes geography, even to some extent environment also. So those particular things will be provided to you in the form of basic concepts, in the form of storyline, in the form of linkages, so that when tomorrow there will be further advanced classes that will be progressed based upon these particular subjects, they will be comparatively better clear to you. So that's why this subject resource practice related dilemma. How? Because once the classes of pre-foundation course is going to be there will be some practice question for every class, be it the objective, be it the subjective question. When you are going to get subjective question also, then this particular thing is going to help you and making you aware that the writing practice is important and the questions are of very basic nature. When the question are basic, you will get confidence with respect to writing, right? If this question is doable, I'll start writing. You might be initially writing long statements, then eventually you will be curtailing your statement. So eventually you are going to get help regarding regarding identifying the starting point. This will be your starting point, and simultaneously you will do the value addition. Faculties are going to provide you a lot of value addition related resources, and that will be going to help you in this particular preparation. Next is regarding the having helping hand. So there will be a feature regarding mentoring is going to be provided. So there will be faculties who are going to help you with this, and apart from that, the dedicated mentors are going to be assigned who are part of this particular preparation journey and who will help you in providing all these things, including clarifying your confusion, because you will be having one-to-one interaction, group interactions with the mentors. Apart from that, regular feedback with respect to your academic practices, with respect to your learning, and even with respect to providing you the motivation in this particular preparation. So there will be helping hand. So not only faculties, even there will be mentoring support continuously will be provided to you. And now how it is related to pre-foundation, because initial point of time we tend to get confused more, because abhi to hame pata nahi hai na utna ki how much I should be focusing upon at this juncture, right? So from the very beginning, you will be having constant support. Next is regarding current awareness. So on the basis of the daily current awareness, there will be on the digital current affairs portal, you are going to get the current affairs updates, right? On a daily basis, compiled from various sources, including PIB, standard newspapers like The Hindu and Indian Express, and that will be compiled in the form of Daily News Today, on which you are also going to get the daily news discussion. And that discussion is also in a thematic manner. That means they are not just going to cover the news, they are going to give you an idea about theme, how the practice of that particular theme can be done. Monthly magazine based classes, which will be also part of this. So there will be monthly magazine coverage, again in a thematic manner, subject wise and the topic wise manner, that is going to be provided to you. Next is regarding revision. Obviously, when you are going to go for this particular pre-foundation course, there will be regular revision, because there will be test that will be provided to you. There will be classroom test, and other than that, there will be a lot of other tests are going to be provided to you. And practice, including the current affairs, because on the digital current affairs portal, there will be practice of the MCQs and the other questions which are subjective in nature on a daily basis, that will be provided. So see, current affairs, generally this perception is there that UPSC can ask anything regarding current affairs. No. They have a structured approach in order to cover the current affairs. You can see the previous year question, and that's how we are also asking the question about these in the daily basis, on the daily basis, and on the current affairs portal. Next is regarding practice. So there is inertia. Obviously, we all have this kind of inertia whenever we are starting any specific new thing, but that inertia has to be broken at the very beginning. If you are not breaking your inertia, then it will be pulling you back, right? It will not allow you to progress. So in that case, in order to break that particular inertia, there will be practice sessions, there will be test sessions, test discussions, and those particular thing will going to provide you an opportunity to write more. Once you will write more, you will be eventually seeing the difference with respect to your preparation. You will be seeing a lot of feedback, a lot of improvement, and gradually when you will write your initial answers to the 25th or the 50th answers, you will gradually see the improvement regarding this. Then the vast preparation, obviously, when you have to go for later on the advanced resources, for that the base should be clear. Otherwise, whatever you are reading in those particular value added text, there has to be a clarity regarding what are the basics behind the same. So that's why the pre-foundation course is going to help you regarding clarifying those concepts. And even if there is any minor doubt that persists, there is a vision intelligence based query resolution that is utilizing the vision intelligence, and that is going to resolve your query. So there is the human intervention, there is the artificial intelligence intervention. It is a mix of both that is going to help you with respect to this particular portal. Apart from that, even from the practice perspective, there is Sandhan, where you can create your personalized test. So already we have discussed a lot of practice related thing, but you can also practice. So that's why this vast preparation can be condensed into the smaller module, and that can help you in order to ensure the targeted approach. So whenever you will start your flight, you will be landing in the correct direction always. Lastly, regarding consistency. So when you are an early bird, when you have decided that you are going to prepare for this particular examination, now the thing is to break first your inertia and then start preparation. And in order to get the targeted direction with respect to the preparation, the consistency, and that particular consistency has to be utilized in the targeted direction. So for that, you have to incorporate whatever we have discussed in the practice in order to get success regarding this examination. So when you are an early bird, try to take the advantage of early bird. So whatever we have discussed, there is a course which is known as the pre-foundation course along with incorporation of the foundation course that is available on the portal. You can go to the portal, you can see on the 22nd of September, this particular course is getting started. So just check this particular portal, go through the brochure, and then you will realize that whatever we have discussed, a lot of things apart from that also, which are part of this particular course, which is going to help you with respect to getting success in this examination, which is the UPSC Civil Services examination. So I hope whatever things we have discussed regarding bridging the gap, regarding the transition from a beginner to the master in this particular preparation is clear to you, right? And for more such clarity, check on the website, right? So I hope the things are clear to you. Best of luck for the examination. Thank you.